Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and welcome to the beautiful Mozambique. I just spent the last 10 days here leading a photography expedition with a group of people, showing them the local reefs here, diving with the amazing wildlife, and of course, spending plenty of time with the humpback whales. After spending so much time in and around the water, it's time for me to head inland to search for what wildlife we can find in the bush. So that is the lovely house that we're staying in here. As you can see, it's just behind the primary dune and in front of this massive stretch of green as well. So lots of bird life around here. I'm actually going to be able to shoot a lot of it just from our patio at Reckon. I'm going to get exploring into the background as well, looking for snakes, lizards, and maybe even some monkeys. So I've just come out exploring around the back of the house. The house is back there, and I'm just going to move into the bush here, looking for birds and other things that we can find. I've got the big boy lens on, the 200 to 600mm lens, which is going to be great for getting pictures of the birds and anything else that we see here from a distance. I've actually been able to shoot quite a lot just from sitting on the veranda doing work at the house. The perfect thing about the veranda is that it basically has its own hide with all the clothes that we have hanging there, and the birds get really comfortable once you've been sitting there for a long time, and I've been able to get some really cool shots at some of the birds so far. The other day I even managed to find a baby rock monitor that was crawling through the leaf litter, which was really cool. Wasn't expecting to see that here, so a really good find. Now, there's a lot of cool birds to see out here, but the holy grail, the one that I'm most looking forward to trying to find, is the crowned hornbill. Now, you might recognize this bird as Zazu from The Lion King. They're incredibly distinctive, and normally you find them in pairs, so fingers crossed we can find one of those during my time here. Okay, so we've got the camera set up just on our front patio here. We've got a natural hide made from all the clothing that we have just drying out here. So it gives me a little bit of protection and cover from the birds so they don't see me as much and freak out. There's a bit of a burst pipe out there which is spraying a lot of water onto the ground, so the birds are actually using it as a way to have a shower, and they're kind of frolicking in the grass, the wet grass, which is really cool. Getting some really cool detailed shots. I'm going to have to go manual focus just because of the blades of grass getting in front of the faces. Still fingers crossed for the crowned hornbill, which is going to be the kind of key species here that we're trying to find, so fingers crossed for that. Let's see what we can get. So I decided to go for a little wander at sunset just to see what else we can find around here. During the day I managed to get some cool shots of these iridescent starlings that are all around here. You see them in big groups feeding on things, and they're incredibly beautiful. Not just the iridescence of the blue on their feathers, but contrasting that against these really bright orange eyes. It's kind of creepy but also incredible. Tomorrow I'm actually heading to a different location. We're heading up north a little bit just to spend some time in a different location and relax a little bit. And I've heard that one of the areas there has some monkeys. So fingers crossed I can go and get some images and maybe some video of some monkeys as well. So as you can see, we managed to find some monkeys. One of the lodges nearby to where we were staying has a resident troop of vervet monkeys that would come in to feed on the berries in the trees, as well as to raid the lodge's tomato garden. Now, I didn't have my tripod, so I wasn't able to get a lot of stable footage, but I did manage to snap some pictures of the monkeys in the trees, as well as feeding on the tomatoes. The shot that I had in my head that I really wanted to get was of one of the monkeys eating a tomato through the tomato garden, and eventually I managed to get one. It wasn't easy, to say the least. I really had to get low and use manual focus to be able to focus on the monkey through the leaves, and also without a tripod as well. I had to use a really high shutter speed because the monkeys move so quickly. I'm really happy with how some of these shots came out. It took me 2 to 3 days of habituating the monkeys to me being around to be able to get quite close to them. After that we came back home, and the very next day I had a surprise waiting for me just outside the veranda here. So we finally managed to find the crowned hornbill. It was us finding as it was the bird came to us. It literally sat on the tree here outside the veranda. There was actually a pair of them. The other one was on the other side, so I couldn't really film it. But I managed to get some cool shots of it as it was sitting in the tree here. Had to be really quiet and really still as well. It was reacting to every movement that I was making. So I tried to just sneak in outside of the veranda and set up the tripod to get these shots. It stuck around for about 5 minutes, so I'm quite happy with what we managed to get. And this was the species that I was really looking forward to trying to get pictures of during this trip, and we finally managed to get it. As you can see, there's a lot more to the wildlife here than just what's in the ocean. There's so much on the land here, and I'm looking forward to being out here again next year and looking for more animals on the land here. Speaking of next year, my expedition dates for next year are now live, so you can go and check them out on my website if you want to join me here in Mozambique next year, going out on the water every day, diving, looking for whales, as well as maybe going out and looking for land animals as well. We're going to be doing photography workshops, obviously going out diving and looking for the whales, but also experiencing some of the local culture here as well. The link for that is in the description below, so check it out if you're interested, and hopefully I'll be able to share these experiences with some of you next year. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video of me shooting some land animals here in Mozambique. Let me know in the comments below which animal was your favourite. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.